Hello and welcome, soul friends. I talk a lot on my channel about the importance of staying in your own energy, staying in your own aura, in your own energy field, because I believe in my years of experience working with clients, working with people, and also in my own life as an empath and a super sensitive, that is one of the biggest challenges and obstacles that empaths and supersensitives have in maintaining stability, balance, healthy boundaries, and well-being in our lives. I think it's a gift, but it can also be seen as an obstacle, as a challenge. Some people say their sensitivity is a curse. I don't like to see it like that, and I actually don't see my sensitivity as a curse. I see it as a blessing. I see it as a gift to the world. But that was a decision. That was a choice on my part to decide to see my sensitivity as something that was valuable. And I feel like that's been the pathway for me. I feel like part of my soul work and my soul role here is to be a pioneer of seeing sensitivity and compassion and empathy as something that's beautiful and something that should be valued in the world. And by me valuing that in myself and in others and in you, by reaching out and doing these videos, we are placing value, because at the end of the day, it's up to us what we put value on. And when we choose to value something and we live by that, we embody that, we will attract people and situations, and we will have the external reflect that inner strength. So that is key in my work. When we are vulnerable, when we are tired, if we've been giving a lot, which, let's be honest, for most of us, giving is just part of our everyday, and giving on a large scale is part of our everyday, we will often extend ourselves beyond what's comfortable, beyond what's healthy, because maybe you have an anxious attachment style. If you don't know about attachment styles, you should look into that. It's very interesting, and it's very revealing about who you are as a person. So you can just look up attachment style, because that's a whole other video, and it's a whole other psychological approach. But right now, in this moment, I'm looking at staying in your own energy, staying in your own aura, and not abandoning yourself, not betraying yourself by stepping into other people's energy. So when we are vulnerable, if we're going through a big life change, if we've just moved house, if we are starting a new job, for instance, our energy it's like on new territory. So it can make us wobbly. It can take the anchor, the groundedness in our energy very easily away, because empaths, supersensitives, call us what you will, highly sensitive people, we are not strong in our groundedness. We are not the best at anchoring into our own energy field and staying in our own chakra system. Many of us, especially the souls of crystals, indigos, blue rays, and earth angels, if you identify with these, resonate with those groups, most likely you incarnated, and you chose to incarnate, by the way, into a family that really crushed or questioned. Maybe, like, it's going to be very different individually, obviously, but we often incarnate into families that did not respect our boundaries, did not respect us staying in our own energy field. In fact, we often incarnated into parents or siblings who expected us to carry their energy and to fuel their energy. With this in mind, as you grow up, you set those patterns in place. So you're going out into the outside world, you're making friends, you're meeting new people, you're attracting jobs and colleagues and romantic relationships, And if you haven't healed that wound from childhood, if you haven't got to grips with the fact that you allow other people, it's like literally you're at a gas station and the takers, or the people that are attracted to your giving nature, to your highly sensitive, loving, therapeutic nature, will often want to pull up and stick the gas pump into your solar plexus and literally refuel from your energy. And I was given this very clear visual of that today when I was chatting on the phone to one of my closest friends, and I just could see it. I could see how we're so used to, since childhood, standing and allowing people to come with their gas pump, stick it into our aura, into our energy field, into our bodies. They refuel, they feel better, they feel soothed, and we walk away literally like, like the air out of a balloon. We are deflated, we are drained, and they're walking away feeling pumped up and refueled because they have taken our chi, our life force, from us. So how do we remedy this? Well, the first step is awareness. You need to be aware that you have a pattern, and not everybody will have this pattern. Some people are really good with those boundaries. They're very clear. They can feel the minute somebody tries to hook in, and they step up, stand up and walk away. And if you're one of those people, I commend you, and I hope you can share all that love with us, because for those of us who are hopeless givers or helpless givers, or even unconscious givers, many of us are actually incredibly giving. I always knew I was a giver, but I think I was unconscious to the extent I was giving until until maybe my later 20s. And then I really started to do homework on it and shadow work, and I really started to see these patterns, and I could see the childhood wounds that contributed to me thinking that I have to be giving if I'm to be valuable, that, this idea that I am not enough as I am staying in my own energy field. But also that when you're full of light and you're full of the joy of spirit, there is a tendency to want to share that, to want to help people. Like, there's such a natural instinctual drive that if you see somebody in need or in pain, your automatic instinctual response is to step in and help that person. This got me into a lot of trouble in life because, like I said, it was innate, it was instinctual to me. If I see someone hurt, if I see someone in pain, I want to help them. I wanted to step in and share this loving energy with them. But it often came at a severe price, a price where I would actually end up hurt and I would end up damaged from that exchange for various reasons. Maybe you can relate to this, and if this is ringing bells for you, really pay attention to this video and maybe watch it again, because I really feel this is the biggest, most damaging thing for empaths, for sensitives, for light workers. So and it doesn't matter if it's with your clients, it doesn't matter if it's in your personal life, or maybe it's in both. The fact that that's happening in any area of your life, you should be concerned, and you should be interested in how you can remedy it, because it is going to plague you for the rest of your days. It's not like you're suddenly going to move somewhere new or start a new job and you're just, magically going to stop attracting energy vampires. It doesn't work that way, because everywhere you go, you bring yourself with you. So you're bringing your energy field, you're bringing your patterns, you're bringing who you are to the table. And if you haven't changed internally, you will keep repeating and attracting external situations that will reflect and mirror that back to you until you get the message to do the work and heal it. And this requires accountability, it requires responsibility, and it also requires action, So awareness first of all, okay, I have this pattern. I resonate with this, Aveen. I know that I am being drained. I know that when I meet that friend every month, I have to go to bed when I come home, or I don't feel good, or I feel drained. I know that in my relationship, my husband, my wife is a drain on my energy field. I know that I'm the one who's doing all the carrying in this relationship or friendship. So we have to be honest about those things, and we have to first have that awareness. Now you know that, it's like an alcoholic. You have to have the awareness that you are an alcoholic. You have addiction issues before you can resolve them. So this is where we take responsibility. Now, I'm not saying it didn't start with you. Like, it didn't start with, you weren't born like this, by the way. You weren't born with this inherent dysfunctional overgiving need and these thoughts, these core beliefs, these schemas of I am not enough, so I have to give until I'm dead issues. These were taught to you. And our beliefs that are formed between the ages, up to the age of 7, this is all very subliminal. This is all very subtle. It's not loud in your face, although it can be. Many empaths and wonderful healers often have a story of being born into highly abusive relationships with their parents or family members. But it can be very, very subtle, to a point where most empaths have at least one parent who is a narcissist. And when they discover, it can often be way even into their 30s before they discover that one of their parents was actually narcissistic, or both. God bless you if that was the case. But, but usually there's one. And it can come as a terrible, terrible shock and a terrible pain to discover that one of your parents was actually in a narcissistic dynamic with you. And it doesn't matter to what degree, even if there's only a slight degree of narcissistic empath tendencies, it still will have a big impact on your life and how you relate to people and how your relationships and your friendships play out. So you have the awareness, you're aware that this is where the wound came from. Let's just say your father was absent, or your mother had a tendency of, it's like us against the world, and she just she wanted to keep you for her, and she smothered you, or quite the opposite. Maybe she froze you out. Maybe she felt like you were never good enough, and no matter what you did, it was just never going to meet her standard. All these things, as subtle as they were, you absorbed like a sponge as a child, and and also you played out those dynamics. You ingrained them in all the way through your adolescence until you were able to become an adult and leave. But even then, because it's cooked into your aura, into your frame, you're bringing that into the world. So wherever you live, wherever you go, the people you meet, the people you fall in love with, these are all going to reflect whatever is cooked in you. Because that's what life is all about. Life is a mirror. Life is a university of growth and expansion. So your consciousness is saying, okay, you're not aware of this, so we are going to bring people to you who will show you this who will bring that awareness to you, so you can actually see yourself clearly and go, oh wow, I need to work on that. So the second thing is, you need to be able to observe and witness when this is happening. So you set a boundary in place with someone. Maybe you've had a falling out with a friend or a family member. Maybe the narcissistic parent has been draining you and abusing you and hurting you, things they're saying and doing. You can feel it when someone is tugging on your energy field. You start to abandon yourself. You start to feel like you're leaving your body. They're going da 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 da, and you're going, whoa, I'm just going to numb out of this, and I'm just going to float up to the angels and be out of here. When that's happening, you need to be aware that's happening, because for most of us, it took years to even know that was happening. It was just so normal for us to abandon ourselves and to leave our energy field, to leave the body and to go somewhere else, like away with the fairies, right? It was normal. And it wasn't until our healer or our shaman or whoever said, hang on a minute, why are you abandoning yourself? Why are you not staying present and in the present moment in your body, grounded when this abuse is happening, when this dynamic is happening? So you have to be aware of it when it's happening. Then you have to observe it and you have to witness it. Then you have to make the conscious choice and tell your soul, tell your angels when you feel yourself abandoning. Okay, whoa, I am starting to leave now. I need to come back. I need to stay in here, in this present moment, in my body, in my chakras, in my heart, with me. Because I'm starting to feel that other person's feeling. I'm starting to see everything from their viewpoint. I'm starting to see that I'm a piece of shit. I'm worthless. I'm not up to anyone's standards. I'm a failure. Whatever that person is spewing at you, consciously or unconsciously, because a lot of the time with these dynamics, it's all very subtle and subliminal, but it's there. It's like, the backhanded compliment or the indirect insult. When this happens, you need to stop in your tracks, take a deep breath, and pull yourself back in. And you literally imagine and you visualize, and it's not imagination to me doesn't mean a fake fantasy. To me, imagine means, like Bashar says, I, Magi, nation. You are a nation of Magi's. Magi meaning wise, sage, or healer, or shaman, okay? So you need to imagine, be the Magi, be the magician, right? And you need to keep your soul and keep your energy in you, not in the other person. Don't be seeing it all their point of view, because this is typical of sensitives. They will see everybody else's opinion in the room first. They will feel everybody else's feeling. They will go, oh yeah, let me look at myself through your eyes. Oh wow, yeah. I need to, I should be given more. I should be bending over backwards and jumping hoops to please you, because it makes the other person feel good, and you will feel they're feeling good. You need to observe that and say, why am I self-abandoning? Why am I neglecting my inner child right now? I need to observe. I need to feel. I need to breathe myself back in, stay in my own energy field. Remember, it is a choice. Who are you going to choose? Are you going to choose you or them? Because if you're abandoning yourself, going into their energy, feeling sorry for them, they're pulling the whole victim thing, or, they're doing the whole complaining, whinging, crying game, and you're going, but I feel sorry for them, and, you can't afford, especially now moving forward into 2021, because let me tell you, it's going to all blow up. We have a crazy time ahead of us for the next 3 years. It's so important you get this lesson and you learn it, and you know how to stay in your own frame. You come back to yourself, and you, as they're, giving you all this, trying to pull you in, here we go, I need you to refuel me, here's my gas pump, I want to stick it in there and get your energy. You need to stop and go, no, I do not consent. Now, you're not going to physically out loud say that, obviously, although you can if you want, fair play if you want to do that. But energetically, no, I do not consent. You do not get to refuel from me anymore. You do not get to tell me how to feel about myself. And I don't need your validation. I do not need you to validate or condone or confirm who I am and if I'm worthy or not, and if I am enough or not, or if I'm lovable or not, or valuable or not. I get to decide that. You have no say over that. I am enough for me. That's the important thing. Stay in your own aura, in your own energy frame. See it like a cocoon around you, like an egg-shaped cocoon around you, because that's what it is. You could even put amethyst in that. You could put gold in that. But what's important is you don't abandon that inner child, because you've been doing that all your life. And how does it feel? It feels terrible. You get so confused. You actually don't know which way you want to go, because you're in everybody else's energy field. So you can't see what you need. your needs get neglected. Your desires get neglected. You start to feel like you're walking around spacey and in a fog and ungrounded because you're in everybody else's aura, and other people's feelings and other people's auras are none of your business. And I say that with absolute love. The love that you have, the responsibility you have is to your own needs, to your own emotions. So observe, witness, breathe. I do not consent. Soul, angels, help me to stay present here. I am choosing to stay with my inner child. See your inner child with their hand out saying, oh, no, see them. And you know what? When you first start to do this, your inner child may very well have a tantrum and may blow up and go, oh my God, why are you banding me again? And you'll often, when you're not used to tackling this, you might start getting angry with the person who's trying to drain your energy and abuse your power. It's okay. Forgive yourself. Don't worry about it if you do end up kind of going like, I don't want to talk to you, or, stop calling me or whatever. Because a lot of the time, not all the time, but sometime, the other person actually needs to see that powerful side of you. And anger is always the next step up the emotional ladder when we are tuning back into our own power. So if you're feeling that anger kick in, it's actually good, because it's your inner child saying, no, this person does not get to deplete me today. This person does not get me to be left all alone and miserable and depressed and tired and full of anxiety because they're using me as a dumping ground. I'm not going to be your emotional skip. So if you do get angry in the beginning, don't freak out. It's just part of you learning how to keep these boundaries in place, okay? But I would say if the anger is kicking in and it's getting uncomfortable, you can just shut down that conversation and say, you know what? I can't talk right now. I don't want to talk about this right now. Goodbye. Give yourself permission to do that, and know that that is an act of self-love. And I know it goes against what you think, because you've been brought up to believe that your role is to be always available, always open, always on, and always ever present loving. And I think many people on the spiritual path get very confused, myself included, that in order to be spiritual and, we're loving beings, that we always have to be open and available for people to exchange energy with. But the thing is, it's not an exchange of energy when it's this dysfunctional dynamic, because you're giving and you're not getting anything in return. The only thing you're getting is depleted. So remember that. It's not a healthy, balanced exchange with these dysfunctional dynamics, with these people who do not know how to give. There's some people who just don't know how to give. It's all about them. They're selfish. And part of being spiritual is telling the truth. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. That's part of being a spiritual person. It's not all unicorns and roses. Part of being a healer and being an empath is also being able to say, whoa, this is your stuff. This is not my stuff. This is your stuff. And I'm just going to hand that back to you, because that doesn't belong to me. And I don't want to be walking around with a load of stuff that just doesn't belong to me. I have my own stuff to carry. So don't be afraid to hand stuff back. That's the final step. Hand it back. This is your stuff. This is your pain. These are your thoughts. This is your opinion. Even if somebody is being very critical and very abusive to you, you can say, if it's your boss, if it's your colleague, if it's your friend, you can just go, well, that's your opinion. I don't see myself like that. I know I'm a worthy, integral, honest person. I know I do my best. I know I work hard. In relationships, when there's a breakup, it can often be people who don't want to take accountability for their mistakes in the relationship will often point the finger and you can just go, no, I know I did my best. I know I showed up every day and gave it all my heart. I don't have any regrets. They're your regrets. They're your mistakes. They belong to you. Hand it back. You do not have to carry other people's stuff. You are not responsible for other people's happiness. And by doing that, by the way, you are being an awesome spiritual teacher, because you are teaching them that they have to sort that out themselves. You know, they're hoarding all this baggage and all this dysfunction and these narcissistic traits. And when you hand it back, it's a wake-up call for them. They realize then, whoa, I'm not getting to abuse your power and stick my pump in there and refuel from your tank. Whoa, what's that about? Then they have to actually stop and look at themselves. When you just leave them, when you just walk away and you say, that's your stuff, not mine, buddy, good luck, you're actually empowering them in the long run, because it's going to encourage a spiritual awakening in them. It's going to encourage them to have to look at their own stuff. And even if they don't, that's not your monkey, not your circus. So what if they don't look at it? It's not your job to fix them. It's not your job to save them. Please stay focused on yourself. Stay focused in your own energy field. Stay in your own frame, in your own body. Think about, what am I receiving from this exchange? Say that to yourself when you notice something's off. What's happening here? Observe. Be a witness. Like in meditation, we observe and we witness. Do that when you're meeting up or talking to these people. And you can even do it through text. You can do it through, it happens through text. It happens over the phone. It doesn't matter. It's all communication. It's all exchange. Make sure that you're staying true to yourself, following your heart, but most importantly, staying in your own aura, staying in your own energy field. I hope this was helpful. As you know, as you can see, I am super passionate about helping sensitives, empaths, highly sensitive people, psychics, shamans, healers, caregivers to honor themselves and love themselves, because I feel this is our time. This is our time now, in the 5D world, 2021. And I'm a passionate life coach and healer. And yeah, so if you enjoy this content and you appreciate and resonate with this video, I would really appreciate your thumbs up. And if you want to have any one-to-one session with me, you can contact me at aveendoyle.com. I leave it in the description box. So wishing you a wonderful day or night wherever you are. And remember, stay true to you. Namaste.